Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. Several things to discuss today. First off, we had a bonus buck sale this past Friday. It was interesting watching it throughout the day and watching several days afterwards how some of the sealed product prices gapped upwards. Things like Dominaria Remastered draft boxes went up $7 or $8 during and after the sale. A lot more boxes getting strained supply, I'll say. Now be careful because it's always hard to infer a lot between number of boxes in the market and immediate price movements. Obviously, if you sell enough boxes, eventually the price moves up, but there are always boxes waiting in the wings to come into the market. But after these bonus buck sales, you'll definitely see repricing upwards on some products. So it's always interesting to watch that. Second, Silver Tempest. If you go look over on Pokemon Center, Silver Tempest is the last Sword and Shield era booster box that's still available at MSRP over there. You know, we've seen something like 6 of the Sword and Shield era Pokemon booster boxes break above $200 already. I think Rebel Clash and Evolving Skies are over $300. Fusion Strike is mid 200s. A lot more are close in that high 100, close to breaking over 200. Eventually they'll get there, but like I said, Silver Tempest is the final one that still has any supply available over there on Pokemon Center. You know, watching that bonus buck sale, going back to it on the singles side, selling singles, I did pretty good business on the day, probably about 3 or 4 times as much sales on Friday as I would normally do in a 2-day replenishment invoice period. So pretty healthy amount of additional buying. I always wonder if those sales really stimulate a lot of additional purchases for sellers like me, or if it's just pulling sales to the left on the timeline. You know, is it a lot of people that will spend money they otherwise would not have spent, or are they just changing when they spend it? Because I always anecdotally feel like sales go down a lot right after a bonus buck sale. You know, I sell a lot fewer singles in the days afterwards, and I've definitely felt that over this past weekend and then Monday and Tuesday now of this week. You know, I actually have only gotten 3 or 4 plain white envelope orders in about the last 4 days, which is highly irregular. So the next thing is sealed sales for patrons. Sealed sale number 5 is coming this Thursday at 8 p.m. Central. I have 4 products to choose from. I actually haven't chosen which one to put on sale yet. And I've recently made an agreement that will get me access to even more product. And I have several sales already in the works as a result of that agreement. So I would say that sales number 6, 7, and 8, I already have product in-house. 9, 10, and 11, I guess I have product on the way. I'm just started the bare beginnings of negotiations for more after that. So, you know, at some point in the future here, I really want to move to a model of offering a sealed sale once per week. Now, I don't know how long it'll take me to get there. Probably something like 6 months, maybe a year to get to that point, to that kind of volume that I can sustain it, that I have that kind of inventory on hand. But things are definitely moving in the right direction. And, you know, a lot of the time I'm able to offer these boxes at anywhere between about $5 to $30 off of the market price per box. And then depending on the quantity I have and the desirability of it and the price of it, the box limits are anywhere from 1 to about a case of 6, just depending. So varies a lot. I think it's definitely worthwhile. The people who buy from me obviously think it's worthwhile. So if you're interested in that, look into joining the Patreon. So last thing for the people who have hung around this far, I guess an update on my health issues with my migraines. They just keep getting worse. Basically for the last year, they've just kept getting worse again and again. And I'm seeing several different doctors right now, and I'm on like 10 different medications. And so some of them are having some pretty wild side effects where I'm basically lethargic and tired all day long, have a lot of trouble concentrating. And so my video production output has been way down. You know, in the past, I was able to consistently make a video a day for months on end without missing a day. And now I'm at about 2 to 3 videos per week. So it's pretty difficult, and I expect that to continue into the future. But patrons, obviously, I continue to take care of them, respond to their messages, and run the sales because, well, it's pretty easy to do that. I can kind of divvy up the work and do it slowly at a good pace when I have the energy and the concentration to do it. So let me know if you have any questions, guys. If you're interested in joining the Patreon and getting in on the sealed sales, they will be continuing for the time being. Lots of great products coming, lots of really great prices. I've got some, it's great the kind of business relationships I've been able to put together more recently with now 3 different sources to get product at very good prices, to get access to capital, and to bring more sales to my patrons. So really excited. I'm hoping I can get up to that 1 sale per week mark and then use that to kind of roll the business into opening a store at some point in the future. Thanks to everyone who makes this content possible, especially those very, very generous patrons who ask me all the great questions, share their ideas with me, and support me financially. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade.